Welcome to Money Mastery, where we cut through the noise and tell you what's really happening in the world of finance. Let's get one thing straight. If getting rich was as easy as just wishing for it, everyone would be driving Lamborghinis and vacationing in the Maldives. But reality check, that's not how wealth works. And if there's one thing we preach here at Money Mastery, it's this: success isn't given, it's taken. If you're sitting around hoping for a miracle, you might as well be waiting for a bus that's never coming. Donald Trump, love him or hate him, figured this out early. He didn't sit back and hope for opportunities. He created them. He understood that excuses don't build empires, action does. And here's the hard truth: no one's going to hand you financial freedom on a silver platter. If you want to change your life, you have to change your mindset first. That means ditching the excuses, dropping the fear, and stepping up to the plate. Because the only real difference between those who stay broke and those who build wealth? Winners take action. Losers wait. No excuses, no fairy tales, the cold, hard truth about wealth. Donald Trump doesn't have time for fairy tales. And if you think success happens by chance, he'd probably laugh in your face. In Trump's world, there are no magical shortcuts, no lucky breaks, just sheer force of will and relentless action. If you're sitting around hoping for a financial miracle, here's a reality check. Money doesn't fall from the sky, and no one's coming to save you. Trump has built his empire on one unshakable principle: get real, take control, and move fast. He has no patience for dreamers who spend all their time thinking about success, but never actually doing anything. In his book, Think Like a Billionaire, he straight up calls excuses symptoms of fear. And let's be honest, he's got a point. Most people don't fail because they lack intelligence or opportunity. They fail because they're too scared to act. They sit on the sidelines, waiting for the perfect moment, while those who do take action end up winning. Trump's philosophy is brutal but effective. The world doesn't owe you anything. If you want to be rich, act like it. Stop playing the victim. Stop blaming circumstances and start making moves. He believes the biggest mistake people make is lying to themselves, telling comforting little stories about why they can't succeed instead of facing the hard truth. You either take action or you stay stuck. That's it. And here's where Trump takes things a step further. He doesn't just believe in thinking big, he believes in acting big. You don't just visualize success, you aggressively pursue it. He's not the guy sitting at a coffee shop scribbling goals in a notebook for the 10th year in a row. He's the guy who sees an opportunity, makes a decision, and moves before the competition even knows what's happening. Most people let fear, doubt, and excuses paralyze them. Trump? He thrives on risk. He sees obstacles as just another challenge to bulldoze through. If you want to get ahead, you need to develop the same mindset. Ditch the excuses, stop waiting for permission, and start taking action like your future depends on it. Because in reality, it does. Think like a millionaire, because broke thinking won't make you rich. Donald Trump didn't just stumble into wealth. He didn't wake up one day, rub a magic lamp, and suddenly become a billionaire. No, his entire philosophy is built on one simple but powerful rule. You have to think like a winner before you ever become one. That means no more broke thinking, no more small goals, and absolutely no more whining about why the system is unfair. The game is what it is, so why not play to win? Trump has always believed that success starts in the mind. If you walk around thinking you're destined to struggle, guess what? You will struggle. If you convince yourself that rich people are just lucky or born into money, you've already lost. The reality? Wealthy people don't think like everyone else. They don't waste energy envying others or complaining about circumstances. They focus on solutions, opportunities, and big moves. Trump is a prime example of this mindset. Love him or hate him, the man operates with sheer, unshakable confidence. In his world, if he wants something, he assumes it's already his. He just has to go out and claim it. And let's be honest, most people sabotage themselves with self-doubt before they even get started. They say things like, "I'm not smart enough. I don't have the right connections. I'm too late." But if you asked Trump, he'd probably roll his eyes and say, "Excuses are for losers." And he wouldn't be wrong. His entire career has been built on thinking big, even when he was drowning in debt in the 90s. Where most people would have folded under pressure, Trump doubled down, rebranded, and climbed back to the top. He wasn't just playing defense, he was thinking offensively, always moving forward. Trump's philosophy is simple. Your financial future depends entirely on how you see yourself. If you think like a millionaire, act like a millionaire, and make moves like a millionaire, you'll start attracting millionaire opportunities. That's not some woo-woo law of attraction nonsense. It's just how the world works. The way you position yourself determines the kind of people, deals, and success that come your way. The lesson? Stop playing small. Stop thinking like an underdog. Start thinking like the person you want to become. Because no one ever got rich with a poverty mindset. Love your work or leave it, because life's too short to be miserable. Donald Trump has never been the kind of guy who punches a clock, grits his teeth, and drags himself through a miserable job just to pay the bills. That's for suckers. In his world, work isn't something you endure. It's something you own. If you don't wake up every morning ready to attack the day, you're in the wrong business. Simple as that. Trump has always believed that passion fuels success. He doesn't just like what he does, he lives for it. And if you want to be wealthy, you have to stop treating work like a chore and start treating it like your personal empire in the making. Because here's the thing, people who hate their jobs never become rich. Why? Because they're just clocking in and out, doing the bare minimum to survive. Meanwhile, the real winners, the people who build fortunes, are obsessed with what they do. They're constantly learning, innovating, and finding ways to turn their passion into profit. And let's talk about this whole work-life balance thing for a second. If you asked Trump, he'd probably laugh and say, "Why balance? Just make work fun." He doesn't believe in separating the two because, in his mind, if you love what you do, work is the fun part. He's the kind of guy who does business deals while playing golf and turns a simple conversation into a $1 million opportunity. That's not workaholism. That's just smart living. Now, of course, not everyone starts out doing what they love. But Trump's philosophy is clear. If you're stuck in a job that drains you, either find a way to make it work for you or get out. Because nothing kills ambition faster than spending your days trapped in something you hate. The most successful people don't just work for a paycheck, they work for a mission. They find ways to align their interests with making money. If you're just grinding for the sake of grinding, you're missing the bigger picture. So, what's the takeaway? Stop settling. Stop treating work like a prison sentence. Either find something you're passionate about or figure out how to turn what you are doing into something meaningful. Because in Trump's world, the people who own their careers, who wake up every day ready to dominate, are the ones who walk away with the biggest rewards. Knowledge is power unless you ignore it. Then you're just guessing. Donald Trump doesn't have time for people who think they can wing their way to wealth. He believes that if you're not constantly learning, you're setting yourself up to get steamrolled by someone who is. The world isn't kind to the ignorant, especially in business. Want to play with the big boys? Then you better sharpen your mind like a weapon, because the market doesn't care about excuses, and neither does Trump. He's a firm believer that knowledge is a competitive advantage. That's why he reads every morning: business news, financial reports, market trends. While most people are hitting snooze, Trump is already absorbing the information he needs to make his next move. And let's be honest, if a billionaire with a ridiculous schedule can make time to educate himself, what's your excuse? Formal education? Sure, it helps. Trump himself has said that a degree can open doors. But don't get it twisted. He doesn't think a diploma guarantees success. He's seen plenty of Ivy League grads flounder in the real world because they never learned how to apply knowledge. The real winners? They keep learning long after they've walked out of a classroom. They read books, study the moves of successful people, and stay 2 steps ahead of the competition. And no, scrolling Twitter for hot stock tips doesn't count. Trump's philosophy is simple. The smarter you are, the fewer mistakes you make. The business world is filled with sharks waiting to tear apart anyone who doesn't know what they're doing. Contracts, deals, investments. If you don't understand the fine print, you'll find yourself at the losing end of the game. That's why he constantly emphasizes financial literacy. You don't need to be a Wall Street analyst, but you do need to know how money moves, how deals work, and how to spot an opportunity before someone else snatches it. And here's the kicker: information is everywhere. You don't need a fancy MBA to get educated. You just need the discipline to seek knowledge daily. If you're not reading, listening, and learning, you're standing still. And in Trump's world, standing still is just another way of falling behind. The difference between the rich and the broke isn't just money, it's knowledge. So stop guessing and start knowing, because in the end, the smartest player at the table always walks away with the winnings. Control your spending or stay broke. Your choice. Donald Trump has never been shy about his opinions on money. And if you've been paying attention, you'll notice one major theme in his financial philosophy: spend less than you earn or prepare to drown in debt. Sounds simple, right? Yet, for some reason, people still manage to max out their credit cards on things they don't need, lease luxury cars they can't afford, and then wonder why their bank account is screaming for help. Trump doesn't believe in mindless spending. Sure, the guy has gold-plated everything, but don't get it twisted. He spends with purpose. When he buys a skyscraper, a golf course, or a luxury hotel, it's not because he just felt like it. It's because he sees the long game. His philosophy? Every dollar should have a job. Either it's working for you, growing, multiplying, or positioning you for bigger opportunities. If your money is just sitting in a savings account, collecting pennies in interest, Trump would probably shake his head and tell you to get your act together. Now, let's talk about debt. Trump has played with billions in debt, and unlike most people, he knows how to use it as a weapon, not a weakness. The average person racks up debt buying things that lose value: cars, designer clothes, overpriced gadgets. Meanwhile, Trump sees debt as a tool to make money. He uses leverage to build assets, finance large-scale deals, and expand his empire. And when the market turns against him, he restructures, renegotiates, and moves forward. That's the difference between wealthy people and everyone else. Rich people use debt strategically, while broke people let debt use them. And let's be real, most people don't have a money problem, they have a discipline problem. They spend based on feelings instead of logic. They buy things to impress people who don't even care. Trump's take? If you don't master your finances, you're just a financial hostage, working harder and harder just to keep up. That's not wealth. That's slavery with extra steps. So here's the reality check. If you want financial freedom, you need to start acting like someone who deserves it. Stop spending like a lottery winner on day one. Start thinking like an investor. Every dollar should have a job, and that job is to make you richer. Because in Trump's world, wealth isn't about how much you make. It's about how much you keep. Invest or stay stuck. Because saving alone won't make you rich. Donald Trump has never been the kind of guy to sit around hoarding cash in a savings account, waiting for it to magically multiply. That's for amateurs. In his world, money is a tool, and if it's not working for you, it's basically dead weight. Trump's philosophy is crystal clear. If you're not investing, you're not even in the game. Most people think saving money is the key to financial security. But let's be honest, saving alone won't make you rich. Inflation eats away at your cash like termites in a wooden house, and before you know it, that safe money is worth less than when you started. Trump would tell you straight up, the worst thing you can do is let your money sit still. Wealth isn't built by playing it safe. It's built by playing it smart. And that means learning how to invest. Trump has spent his entire career leveraging investments to grow his empire. Real estate, stocks, businesses, you name it. He doesn't just own assets, he makes them work for him. And that's a mindset shift most people never make. They're too scared of losing money, so they do nothing. But here's the catch. Not investing is actually the biggest risk of all. The only people who stay poor are the ones who refuse to take calculated risks. Trump knows this better than anyone. He's taken hits, made bad deals, and lost millions. But what separates him from the average person? He keeps moving forward. He learns, adjusts, and reinvests. That's why he keeps winning. And let's talk about excuses. I don't know where to invest. The market is too risky. I'll start when I have more money. Trump would roll his eyes at all of that. He'd tell you to stop waiting for the perfect moment, because it doesn't exist. The key is to start now, even if it's small. Read financial news, study investments, learn the game. Because if you don't understand where to put your money, someone who does will gladly take it from you. At the end of the day, Trump's advice is simple. The rich don't work for money. They make money work for them. If you're still sitting on the sidelines, afraid to invest, you're not being cautious, you're being left behind. So stop waiting. Get in the game, start learning, and make your money work as hard as you do. Master your time, because wasting it is wasting money. Donald Trump doesn't believe in waiting around. If there's one thing he values as much as money, it's time. And let's be real, most people treat time like it's unlimited, scrolling through social media, binge-watching TV, and procrastinating like they've got 1,000 years to get rich. Trump's mindset? Every second you waste is a dollar you'll never see. He's up at 5 a.m., reading, strategizing, and getting ahead while the competition is still drooling on their pillows. And no, he's not grinding for the sake of grinding. He's playing to win. The man understands that time isn't just about being busy. It's about being effective. If you're spending hours on tasks that don't move the needle, you're doing it wrong. Wealthy people focus on high-value activities, building businesses, making deals, networking with power players. Meanwhile, broke people waste hours complaining about how they don't have enough time. Trump's take? Make time. Prioritize. Cut the nonsense. And let's talk about multitasking, because some people think they're being productive by juggling 50 things at once. Newsflash. That's a disaster. Trump doesn't spread himself thin. He delegates, focuses on what he does best, and lets experts handle the rest. That's why he surrounds himself with people who are sharp, capable, and driven. If you're micromanaging everything in your life, you're not maximizing your time, you're burning it. Then there's the whole Waiting for the right moment excuse. Some people spend their entire lives preparing instead of doing. Trump? He doesn't wait. He jumps in, adapts, and figures things out along the way. He knows that hesitation is just another form of fear, and fear is the enemy of progress. If you're always second-guessing, overthinking, and waiting for the stars to align, you'll wake up one day realizing you've wasted years getting nowhere. Trump's philosophy is ruthless but effective. Time is your most valuable asset. Guard it, invest it wisely, and use it to create wealth, not excuses. If you're not treating your time like money, don't be surprised when you never have either. At Money Mastery, we're not about fluff, and we're definitely not about playing small. If you're here, it means you're ready to level up. You're ready to start thinking, acting, and investing like the wealthy do. So the question is, are you going to sit on the sidelines, or are you going to make moves? If you got value from this, don't keep it to yourself. Drop a comment below, hit that like button, and make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so you never miss a game-changing insight. We're just getting started, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Stay sharp, stay hungry, and I'll see you in the next video.